This demo is about accessing service bus messages from function app using a managed identity and without the service bus connection string. So the first step in this process is to create the resources. So we need to create a managed identity resource, and we need to create a function app resource, and we need to create a service bus namespace and a couple of queues. So as you're seeing on screen, I'm M1 and SBQ-demo-02 in the service bus namespace SB-demo-E-01. Now the next step is to create the function app project in Visual Studio. We use Visual Studio for local development. So I'll open Visual Studio, create a new project, select the Azure Functions template, provide a suitable name, giving the name as function app managed identity, choosing .NET 8 isolated version, long time support. The service bus trigger is what is selected, this function response to service bus trigger. And the queue name that the service bus, this function listens to is SPQ-demo-01 that we created earlier. And you need to leave the connection string empty because we are connecting to the service bus and reading from the service bus from this function without using connection string and using managed identity. Click on create project, and this is what comes up once we create the project. It's an isolated worker model. So you'll have basically the function trigger code, you will have program.cs, and you will have local config settings. So it's a .NET 8 function app, runtime version is v4, and it uses the isolated worker model packages. You can see this is a program.cs, we leave it as it is, there's no change required in that, and this is the local config file. We need to specify the service bus and namespace over here for the function to connect to. So as you can see, we have mentioned service bus, my service bus __ fully qualified namespace, and given the namespace of the service bus is SB-demo-E01. So we are just giving the namespace over here. And then we specify the Azure tenant ID. The tenant ID is nothing but the Active Directory ID or the Entra ID where the user will log into. So that's the tenant ID that we need to provide in the local config file. So this is part of the phase 1 of the demo, and the logged in user with Visual Studio is myself. So I'm logged into this particular Azure tenant ID. So we need to provide the connection reference over here. So we need to provide my service bus as a connection reference so that the function connects to that particular service bus when it is invoked. And you also need to ensure that the logged in user is what the Azure Service Authentication is set to. Now let's start the demo. So what you're seeing on screen is the Service Bus Explorer. This is a tool that you can freely download to send messages to the service bus. I've started the function app here, the function app on the local machine. So there is a local execution. This is part of phase 1 of the demo. As you can see, the function 1 is invoked. It is listening to the service bus and is waiting for the messages to arrive. So I've opened Service Bus Explorer. I'm trying to send a message over here. I've sent a message called first message. And on the core tools, you can see that there is a exception or error. And if you see the error, it may clearly mentions that it's an unauthorized access. Listen claims are required to perform this operation. The reason this happens is the function app is using the logged in user managed identity. The function app is referring to the managed identity, which is myself logged into the Visual Studio, and it is trying to access the service bus through that particular identity, which is my identity. But my identity does not have any permissions given to listen to the service bus queue, and that is what we need to configure because that is what is missing, and function app is complaining about that unauthorized access. Yeah, so now we need to tell the service bus queue to allow access to the logged in user in Visual Studio to read message from itself. So the way we tell the service bus queue is going to the service bus queue and access control. In access control, you need to search for the role service bus data receiver. Because the function app is only listening to the service bus and reading message from the service bus, this is the appropriate role, and this is a sufficient role that we can give. And in the members selection, in the members, you need to search for the logged in user who is logged into Visual Studio because this is being demoed locally, and I am the logged in user through Visual Studio, and I need access this particular role. I need to have this particular role to read the messages from this particular queue. So Azure Service Bus Data Reader is the role, the data receiver is the role that is assigned on the SPQ-demo-01 queue on the service bus namespace sp-demo-01, and it's assigned to me. So as you can see, I've been assigned the Azure Service Bus Data Receiver role on the service bus queue demo-01 on the service bus namespace sb-demo-01. So I'm allowed to get queue messages. These are the permissions that I can use and the data actions that I can perform on this particular service bus queue. I can receive or read messages from this particular queue. So that's the missing piece that we need to add. So once we add this, I'll start the function app again. And now the function app should be able to receive message from the service bus using my identity, because my identity has been given the required permissions to read messages from the service bus queue without using connection string. Just cross verifying that I'm the logged in user through Visual Studio, and I need to ensure that the Azure Service Authentication in the Visual Studio settings is also using the right identity, which is my identity. Now I'll start the function app. So the function app is listening on the same queue, service bus queue-demo-01. I'll try to send a message to this particular queue. I'm sending a message called first message. I put a debugger point in the service bus triggered Azure function code, and now you can see that the debugger has been hit. So now the function app is able to receive messages from the service bus queue. As you can see from the message body says it's a first message. And you can also see it on the console. So yeah, the service bus triggered Azure function has processed the message that it received from the service bus queue spq-demo-01. Now we move on to the phase 2 part of this demo. In the phase 2, we are trying to deploy the code to the Azure function app on Azure and trying to read messages from the function app in Azure. And we need to associate a managed identity for this particular function app. So we had created the user assigned managed identity in the very first step of this demo called mi-demo-01, and that is what we'll be using to read messages from the service bus queue. So the next step is to deploy the function app code to Azure. I'm using a crude way of deploying it. This is not a best practice. We always use pipelines and CI/CD to deploy the code from local to Azure. But for the sake of this demo, I'm downloading the publish settings and deploying from Visual Studio directly to Azure. So as you can see in the output window, the code is being deployed. Okay, so the publish succeeded. That means the code has been deployed to the Azure function app. So when you go on overview, when we click on overview, you should be able to see the function 1 now in the function app. So this means that the code has been deployed and the trigger type mentioned is service bus and it's enabled. So now the function app on Azure will be able to listen to the messages on the service bus queue sbq-demo-01. We have associated the function app with the managed identity that we created in step 1. The managed identity is called as mi-demo-01, and that needs to have the appropriate permissions on the service bus queue for this function app to listen and read messages from the service bus queue. So again, the system assigned managed identity is off and the user assigned managed identity has been enabled. So before we send a message in the service bus queue, we need to ensure the managed identity has the required permissions to read from the service bus, because that is what has been linked to the function app, and function app will use this managed identity to read service bus messages from this particular queue spq-demo-01. Now there are a couple of crucial settings to enable this function app to work properly. So one is provide the Azure _client_ID. This is nothing but the managed identity client ID that we created. So mi-demo-01 has a client ID, and we need to provide this client ID in this particular app settings of the function app, Azure-client_ID. Without the setting, the function app will not work. It will not talk to the managed identity, and it will try to read messages and it will fail. So this particular setting will tell the function app to use the user assigned managed identity as its identity and then communicate through that. So this particular setting is very crucial, and this is what is often overlooked and this is what will lead to failure in the deployed function app. So this setting is very crucial. Azure underscore client underscore ID is where you provide the client ID of the managed identity associated with the function app. And obviously we have to provide the service bus fully qualified namespace in the app setting. Now we try to push the message from the service bus queue, and you can see that, earlier it was held in the queue. Now the function app is able to read the message from the queue through the managed entity, which was given permission to pull or read messages from the service bus queue earlier. So the way we see this particular thing is through. So what we're seeing on the screen is the application insights log, where we can see that the 8th message that we sent to the service bus queue has been received and logged by the function app to application insights. So we had also sent a 9th message to the service bus queue, and we were searching for the 9th message in the logs, and now we can see that the last message that we sent, which is the 9th message, it's also available in the logs. So that means all the messages have been read by the function app through the managed identity. This was done without the use of connection strings.